What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. We're going to do an Arsenal transfer talk today. The January transfer window is just around the corner and the rumour mill is flying as usual. The big story today is Upamecano. You know, we spoke about him a lot in the summer and he's being linked again. And the rumour going around today, it's a story that the national press are covering, is that Leipzig apparently have said he can go in January for £40 million, which, you know, I've read into the story a little bit. I take it with a pinch of salt because the story says Arsenal had 60 million rejected. Now they're willing to sell him for 40 million, apparently. The rumour is that he's desperate to move. He feels like he needs to be on a bigger platform in order to try and get into that French squad for the summer European Championships. Of course, they're the world champions. All these French players will be desperate to get into that squad. And the rumour is that Arsenal are interested. I couldn't see how Arsenal could pull off a £40 million deal in January, personally. But, you know, maybe with the right negotiations and paying in instalments the way we have with Pepe, maybe it's something that Sanelli can pull off. Let's hope so. He's powerful. He's 21 years of age. He's comfortable on the ball. Of course, he is somebody we tried to sign desperately in the summer. And, you know, looking at Arsenal's defence, it's not rocket science. We need a centre-back. And I think we need one in January. I don't think we can wait until the end of the season. Apparently, they're lining up a replacement, a young player from PSG. And they're saying if they get this player, they're willing to sell Upamecano to Arsenal. So that'll be interesting. I mean, I'd be happy with that. I haven't seen him play that much, to be honest, Upamecano. But when I have, he looks like a tank and somebody we need power and pace. And I'd be excited about having Saliba and Upamecano at centre-back in the summer. Or even, you know, Upamecano in January and Saliba joining in the summer. Of course, there's also been rumours that Saliba could be recalled in January. Now, this would be very difficult because I'm sure Saint Etienne would not be keen on allowing him to go, knowing that he's contracted there on loan until the summer. But stranger things have happened. Sometimes if you pay a large fee in advance, you know, the club will allow the loan to end early. And if they maybe could get a replacement in, or maybe you do them a deal and give them somebody on loan, somebody like Mustafi or maybe Mavropanos on loan, and you pay a few million quid and get Saliba to Arsenal early, which is something I would be keen on. So that's another interesting one. Sticking with the French players, another French player we're linked with today is Thomas Lemar. You must remember that famous apparent £90 million offer that we made on deadline day a few years ago, that summer when Alexis Sanchez was set to go to Manchester City, but we rejected the £60 million bid. Apparently, you know, if we would have had our deal done to get Thomas Lemar, then Sanchez would have gone Manchester City. But Lemar's gone off the radar since then. He got a big money move to Atletico Madrid and it just hasn't happened for him. He struggled. He hasn't been scoring. He hasn't been playing. Usually on the bench, sometimes not even in the French squad now. And apparently he's looking for regular football. Now, again, it's not definite that he will leave in January. But apparently his agent has said that he needs to look elsewhere if he can't get football at Atletico. But Simeone and the guys at Atletico have come out and said that Thomas can still have a future at the club, although they have said they would consider a transfer at the right fee. So maybe they would sell him. Could Arsenal loan him with an obligation to buy him in the summer? The interesting thing was, you know, how good is he? Was he a guy that was great in the French league but struggles outside of that league? Or is he just unlucky that Atletico are not really using him? So that's interesting, you know, and I think something Arsenal should look at, because a natural left footer as well on that left-hand side, I think that's still an option, a position that we could do with someone. As much as I think Martinelli is a very good player, it still strikes me when I watch him that he will become a central player. I think he will become a striker rather than a winger. So Thomas Lemar is another player that we are potentially looking at. Who would you like to see us go for in January? I'm going to do regular, maybe even daily transfer videos come the start of the January transfer window. Who would you like to see us get in January? Be realistic, you know. we're not going to spend huge money. If it is big money, it'll be over, installments. But who would you like to see us buy? I've looked at people like Decore, Upamecano, Thomas Lemar, Lewis Dunk is somebody I would look at as well. Who let me know who you think. And now, obviously, a story that's been going around for the last day or so is Granit Xhaka wanting to leave the club. And for me, his agent's talking a lot, saying that they've agreed terms with her for Berlin and that he wants to be there as soon as next week. I think that, if this guy wants out, get rid of him. He's not worth the hassle. The amount of noise this guy makes and problems. And, I look at the performances on the pitch, I think this guy's not a superstar. Why are we putting up with that? We gave this guy a new contract when he hadn't been in great form. The rumour was that, we missed out on Kante to get Xhaka, which was a huge mistake. He hasn't been consistently good for Arsenal. At times he's had good runs of form, scored the odd good goal and had a few good performances, but the guy's nothing special. And I think we need to move in a different direction. And the way his agent is publicly making noise, Arsenal just get rolled over time and time again by players. And I said in an interview I did a few weeks back that Xhaka, for me, shouldn't have been in the Arsenal team. Now, I think that Xhaka and Torreira is our most solid partnership. So from a footballing point of view, I can see why we play that. But what he did, the way he dealt with the fans, even though the fans were wrong, of course, but the way he dealt with them that day, the fact he threw the armband down and, the fact he's not even a great player, I think Arsenal should have been stronger as a club. Said, you know what, you can't treat us like that when we've kept you here, we've bought you for big money, we've given you a new contract, and in return your performances haven't been good enough. I would have showed him the door. And I think Xhaka will probably leave in January if they can agree a price with Berlin or a different club. So keep an eye out on that. Would you sell Granit Xhaka in January, or would you keep him till the end of the season? I think as well we will try and move people like Mustafi on in January as well. So let me know what you think. Who would you sell as well? As I said, from the start of January, I think I'm going to do daily uploads of regular transfer news. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see. Keep subscribing to the channel. Thanks for all your brilliant support. Let me know in the comments down below. Who would you like to see us try and get? Who would you like to see us sell? Hit that thumbs up button. More content coming up. Bless.